guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I am doing something I've never done before, and that is adding tallow, lard, and goat milk in one soap. I'm so excited to give this a go. I've been working really hard on the numbers and the percentages and trying to make sure that it's going to turn out. And I will share this recipe with you guys down in the description. So very recently, my husband and I bought like a quarter of a cow. With my son, we kind of went in halves on a half a cow, and I let the butcher know that I wanted all the fat for our half of a cow. So I have rendered down all of that fat from the cow, and I have created my own tallow. I have also recently had access to some lard or pig fat or leaf fat. So I got 20 pounds of leaf fat from a pig that a coworker had butchered, and I bought the fat from her. And so I have all of that in front of me. I'm going to bring the camera down so you can see all of this farm-inspired soap. I'm really looking forward to it, guys. The scent I'm going to use for this soap is a flaming candle scent called Cedar Leaf and Lavender. I have this in a car diffuser that I adore. It's very unisex, and it's just a really good scent, and it's supposed to behave very well. Let me get ready, and we're going to make some farm-inspired soap. E-I-E-I-O. So in front of me, in my red bowl, is some very newly processed down lard. So that's the pig in said recipe. So this is my lard, and this is some recently rendered down tallow. And in here is my goat milk that I have thawed out in the refrigerator. Let me get my soap recipes figured out here. It's all out of whack. You can see I started to do this and I put the lard back in here so I could show you this. This has no scent. I've smelled it. All right, it has a tiny bit of a scent. This doesn't have any scent, my tallow. But I do know that when it's heated, that scent comes through a little bit stronger. So I won't be surprised if I smell a little bit of any of these in the soap while it's still in that liquid form. So I am going to put 14.4 ounces of my lard in here. So the lard, I'm struggling getting it in like final packaging because it is very gummy. It's almost gel-like in its consistency. And when I went to separate out the water and let like the water fall to the bottom, I didn't have any water on the bottom. So I'm thinking, what in the world is going on with my lard? So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to get this in its final container, whether it's a freezer bag. My tallow I have in pint canning jars. So I made a tallow soap recently, and you may have already seen that video. And I didn't know at the time that tallow increases your trace, but lard decreases trace. And that's what started this whole thought of, well, if I use both of them, maybe they will counteract each other. And I will have a normal trace. So this just came out of the refrigerator. It's going to be quite hard. And I'm using 10.8. Look at that. It's super hard. I may have to melt this a little bit and get it soft. I think I'm going to pop this in the microwave for a minute or two. All right, I have too much going on right here. I brought out everything else and need to finish this. It's a little bit softer. What I say? 10.8. So again, I heated this up just a tiny bit, and I am smelling a little bit of the beef. So it could be the way I rendered it, and I just need to do a better job of rendering it, but I don't think that that smell comes through the soap once everything else is kind of in it and you have your fragrance oil in it. Back when I used lard a lot, I didn't smell the lard, but I did smell it when I was making the soap. But I went to go buy lard, and it was $10 for a bucket of lard that used to cost like $6. So needless to say, I did not buy lard. I waited because I wanted to do this weekend, so I just ended up waiting until my lard was ready. I rushed and got it done. Okay, coconut oil. So something that I've noticed is my recipe has felt very quick moving lately. And I went back and watched a video from, I don't know, a month or two ago, and it worked fine. It behaved well. I don't know what I did differently that my recipe all of a sudden isn't behaving as well as it once did. Coconut is 14.4. One of the times I was soaping a little bit warmer, but other than that, it wasn't anything that was jarringly, noticeable. Okay, close enough. So I have big 10-gallon pail underneath the table on the other side. And I just fill this up every time. I have one of these for my palm oil and my coconut oil. Yes, I do use a microwave, guys. I've had some comments about that. I don't let those comments bother me. Some comments bother me. That doesn't. Yeah, choose your battles, guys. So I am using 6 ounces of goat milk in this. I am going to warm this up because this is ice cold, or refrigerator cold. My goat milk is 5.4% of the total batch weight. I'm going to get my oils going. Olive oil, 14.4. One of these days, I will buy a new camera that has a longer lasting battery. One of these days. Castor oil, 3.6. Nope, this is rice bran. 14.4 as well. I try to make this recipe super simple. One of the things I'm doing the rice bran for is just money. Otherwise, I would put 100% olive oil in here. I do think that this colors my soaps a little bit and doesn't give me that pure white, but I'm hoping the tallow and the lard kind of offset that. And then castor oil is 3.6. That's right, 3.6. I'm going to see if that will melt down the rest of the way while I get my lye water ready. So for this, I'm going to need 3.3 ounces of water to round out my water need. And that's because I have a limited amount of goat's milk. I want to kind of help me out and spread that out a little bit. And I think 6 ounces for a 20 bar set batch is probably pretty good. A quick 30 seconds in the microwave just to kind of warm that through. That will help me dissolve my citric acid and sugar better. I am going to put 0.6 ounces of Kaolin Clay in here. So you really do, if you add citric acid, you really need to run this through a lye calculator or do the math, because citric acid will consume more lye than without citric acid. Just make sure that you're using a lye calculator that calculates that for you. That's what I do because there's no way I'm doing math. So I've started using powdered sugar because it dissolves easier. And I need 14 grams. Now the goat's milk has sugars in it. This may not be necessary. I mean, you could probably skip it. And my citric acid is for hard water. I know a lot of the country has hard water. Here in Indiana, we have hard water. I need 29 grams. And what I'll do is I will show you maybe right here the difference in my lye requirements with and without my citric acid, so you guys can see the difference. So because I'm using a 50-50 lye solution, I need 20.6 ounces of my 50-50 lye. So that is 10.3 ounces of lye and 10.3 ounces of water. What did I say? Gosh, I have no memory for this kind of stuff. 20.6. 1 ounce of sodium lactate. So let's see what this is with the room temperature, which it's about 66, I think, in here today. Let's take a look. It's kind of warm. Oh my gosh, it's 69. That is warm for down here. So 99. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and get my goat's milk in here because I won't remember if I don't. That may have cooled that down just a little bit. That's going to be okay. 97. So I warmed that up enough that it didn't cool it down too much. Let me see. I need to stir this a little bit and dissolve that. It is important to dissolve that citric acid so you get that in your soap so that your super fat is correct. Looks good. All right. Again, I'm just going to pour a little bit in here until that is about 95. $84. That was maybe a lot. 95, guys. I couldn't have done that again if I tried. All right. Let's think about design because it's one of those days where I'm feeling like I'm making these kind of last second. So this will discolor if I'm not mistaken. And my label doesn't say. Oh, and this says the soap usage is 3.56. So I'm glad I looked at my label because I thought this was higher. Quick mix, just to mix in all of that goat milk and smooth out those chunks, smooth out any clay chunks, all that good stuff. And I am going to use my goat milk and weigh off my fragrance oil. And I think this is a strong enough fragrance that it's going to be fine to not use like the full 5%. All right, and I think, let's see, color scheme. I think it discolors. I meant to look at that again. I've got so many fragrances pulled off that I've been looking at like discoloring and stuff. I forget. And I didn't put it on my label, guys. So if you want these labels, the Canva link is down below in the description, or they're on my website and you can just download them for free. Your choice. The Canva link lets you, have a starting point and you can tweak it however you would want it. But if you don't have Canva and you don't want to get a Canva account, then you can just buy them from the website for free. That's how I could figure out to share that with you. Cedar leaf and lavender. Maybe I will just do like a TD or a white satin. I don't want to mess with TD. I'm just going to do one with a white satin mica. I got that from Micas and More. And I'll just let it be the color it is. That's what I'm going to do. And then with just a white swirl. I think that'll be pretty. A very quick little blast. So the sugars may be coloring this a little bit. It is quite yellow. That is one thing that could be causing my soap not to be super white, is the sugar and the goat's milk. That's extra sugar. And I think the rice bran is also kind of playing a role in that. That may have come from my tallow or lard, I'm not sure. All right, in she goes. I'm just going to do a little bit of white. It is quite yellow in color. this is at a trace already. Very little blending, so it is going a little quick on me. The fragrance oil is not supposed to be quick moving at all, but it's staying at a nice fluid trace. It's not a trace so much that it is like moving faster and faster. It's pouring really nice. I like that. But it is starting to get thick. All right, so I don't have my hanger tool yet. I mean, I could leave it as is. But you guys know that's not going to happen, right? I'm just going to take like this spatula. And that way, just one quick little bit and top them off. I know I do this top all the time, but guys, it's just my favorite. I think it's such a pretty top. Just the swirls, simple swirls. This and mica swirls are two of my favorite tops. Maybe it's because I feel the most comfortable doing them. Alrighty, I'm going to put her to bed. I will see you guys in a couple days, and we're going to cut this sucker. This beautiful, beautiful sucker. Maybe I'm the sucker, I don't know. It is really ready to cut. It is past time. Way past time. Gosh. Way past time. Hoo-wee. So the swirl on this one, I don't know, it's a little washed out as usual for me. The swirl is very minimal. And check out that discoloring. Can you see that? It's like a 1/4 inch all around. So this creamy middle is going to darken to this. So if you look at the middle there and the side here, which I'm glad about, because that's going to really allow the swirl to show up a little bit better. The swirl's getting lost right now in the really light base soap. Guys, so I just got done doing my tallow lather test, and I'd already done this, and this was still sitting here on my table. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to like compare the two. So I am redoing this. I've already done this once, but you'll probably not see this one, or only see this one, I should say. So the bubbles are smaller. They're not as, I mean, obviously, I don't know how else to say it. There's lots of bubbles. They are much smaller in their size. It still feels really, really luxurious. Super, super silky. I mean, just lovely. So, you know, which one do I like the best? I honestly don't know. Guys, I don't know which one I like the best. I love them both. Love them both. All right, carrying on now. All right, guys, let's take a look at this farm-inspired soap. So I just came up from doing a bit of a lather demonstration. I really liked it. What can I say? I think it's going to be a very, very luxurious, nourishing type feel of lather. So I'm really, really tickled so much with that. I think I will have more of a line of these. So I'm going to have lots of different fragrances maybe. My family were farmers. My grandpa was a farmer. It's not like I grew up on a farm or anything, but it's kind of neat to honor the farmers, and you know, they feed us, right? They need honored. So here's the soap. If you can see the swirls, I'm going to turn down the light. Hang on. Man, I struggle with lighting, guys. So I don't know if you can see that better. It is really pretty. It's very simple. The top is very simple. I just think it's a really pretty bar of soap. Now the scent faded a little bit more than I would have liked. It's there, but it is not strong. So Cedar Leaf and Lavender from Flaming Candle, it's not as strong as I would expect it to be. I'll probably just use that for my car diffusers from now on and not make a soap with it. It's a lovely scent. I like it. It's just not very strong. I am trying to come up with a name for this line. I thought about Down on the Farm, but then I thought, I don't even know if that's trademarked or whatever for soap. And I don't know that I want to do that one. And then I thought of Farm Trifecta. But it's hard to spell, it's hard to say, and I want it to be a little bit more simple. So if you guys have any ideas of what I can name a line of soap that is inspired by Farm, let me know. You know, it has to be only 2 or 3 words, right? You can't make it very long, and I'm just not very good at this stuff, so maybe you guys are. Maybe I'll throw an egg in there. I've never made soap with an egg yolk or something. I think that's a thing. I could get carried away. Guys, I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the recipe. Check it down in the description box and let me know what you think. And then I hope to see you next week. Bye.